Hi guys, this is Hal Busker and welcome back to another video. In the last video we ranked the songs off of ELP's fourth album and probably their most popular, Brain Salad Surgery. Now we're on their fifth album, Works Volume 1. Now if you asked me years ago, this probably would have been in my top 3 favorite ELP albums. I know it sounds crazy, but it was true. It's not anymore because I don't know what I was thinking, but I loved it. I clearly loved it a lot back then. I still love it today. I'm a big fan of this album. Of course, this is a double album, so 2 discs. And it's cool. I always love the idea how every member has one contribution to each side of the record. You have to get it on vinyl to understand. So side 1 is Keith Emerson's stuff only. Side 2 is Greg Lake's stuff only. Side 3 is Carl Palmer's stuff only. And then side 4 is the entire group, which is really incredible. But there are 14 songs on here. Unlike the first 4 albums, they had like 6, 7, 8, 9 songs about that. This has 14. It's a lot. But yeah, this is a long album also. But that's because they have a lot of long stuff on here. So here we go. I really like this. I like all the songs on this album. Something has to be at the bottom. But number 14 for me is Piano Concerto Number 1. This is the only song on Keith Emerson's side. I like it. I really like this. Keith Emerson is probably my favorite keyboardist of all time. But Piano Concerto Number 1 it's really good, but it's really long, and I love a lot of their long stuff like Tarkus, Carnival 9, The Endless Enigma if you combine them both. But this is actually shorter than most long pieces that they made. This is about 18 minutes, but it feels longer. I mean, it is an instrumental, but I mean, I like it. I think it's cool. Cool way to open the album, also, with Keith Emerson's side-long masterpiece, I guess we can call it that. But yeah, number 14 for me is Piano Concerto Number 1. Alright, number 13, we're gonna have something from Carl Palmer's side. 2-part invention in D minor. This isn't even 2 minutes. It's mainly xylophone-oriented stuff. This is a rendition of what Bach used to do, Johann Sebastian Bach, a rendition. And it sounds cool. I like how it came after New Orleans, which is another song on there, and then you get this beautiful calm piece. So yeah, number 13 for me, 2-part invention in D minor. Number 12 for me, this is a rendition of the original from their debut album, Tank. The instrumental from their first album. This one has more action, I guess you can say, but I preferred the one on the debut more. But this is pretty cool. I really love the one on the debut a lot. But this one's pretty cool too, like I said. So, and this is the last song on Carl Palmer's side. So yeah, number 12 for me is Tank. Number 11 for me is going to be from Greg Lake's side. Lend Your Love to Me Tonight. A beautiful piece. This is really beautiful. I love everything about it. Greg Lake has a lot of the love ballads on his side, and this is one of them. I really love this song. It's really beautiful, and yeah, that's all I need to say, I guess. Number 11 is Lend Your Love to Me Tonight. Alright, we're in the top 10. Number 10 is also from Greg Lake's side. This is actually pretty, I don't know what the word is. Like, it's definitely not a love ballad. Because I remember listening to that, it was like, oh, this is not a love ballad. But number 10 is Hallowed Be Thy Name. Another great song. I also like how this one came after C'est La Vie, which we'll get into later, which is a nice song, and then you get into this, Hallowed Be Thy Name, which is a really cool song. I loved it a lot, and I still love it now. So number 10 is Hallowed Be Thy Name. Number 9, another Greg Lake song, Nobody Loves You Like I Do. This one, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I have a lot of allergies. Anyway, number 9 is Nobody Loves You Like I Do. This one follows Hallowed Be Thy Name, another love ballad that he makes. Yeah, Greg Lake is into the love ballads, especially on this album. I like it a lot. It's really cool. Yeah, I think it's really underrated. A lot of the stuff on here is underrated. Maybe except one song, but we'll get into that when we get into that. But yeah, number 9 is Nobody Loves You Like I Do. And the lyrics are interesting also. I always kind of like the lyrics. Number 8, if you asked me a few years ago, this would be near the bottom. From Carl Palmer's side, New Orleans. It always sounds weird. You get the bass drum intro, the boop, 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 boop. It sounds kind of weird, but it's kind of funny. But it's also really short. A lot of the Carl Palmer stuff is really short, and this is one of them. Yeah, number 8 for me is New Orleans. I like it a lot. Number 7, another beautiful Greg Lake piece on here. Closer to Believing. This song is so beautiful. I love everything about it. And I love how it closes Greg Lake's side and disc 1 or side 2 and, what have you. But Closer to Believing is a really beautiful song. I always loved it. And yeah, it's been one of my favorite ELP songs, really. I love everything a lot. And it's, again, really beautiful how it closes side 2 and disc 1. So yeah, number 7 for me is Closer to Believing. All right, number 6. This is on Carl Palmer's side. And this one actually features Joe Walsh from the Eagles on guitar and vocals or scat vocals. L.A. Nights, another real L.A. Nights, really good song. I always loved it a lot. I love the bass intro, the boom, really cool. I love a lot of songs with heavy bass on there. It's really cool. But yeah, number 6 for me is L.A. Nights. Alright, so we're in the top 5. Now, number 5, this is off Carl Palmer's side also. I always thought this was cheesy 70s football fight music, or football music in general. But number 5 for me is Food for Your Soul. Great drum solo by Carl Palmer. They're really cool. Another underrated one. And a lot of, and practically all the songs on Carl Palmer's side are instrumental. I mean, he was a drummer. I mean, LA Knights had scat vocals, but that was all that was really it on his side. But Food for Your Soul is a really good instrumental. I think he had fun recording that. I love the brass. That's what makes it sound like cheesy 70s football music. But yeah, number 5 for me is Food for Your Soul. Alright, number 4, this is my favorite from Greg Lake's side, C'est La Vie, a really beautiful song. I always love this song, one of my favorites by him. I love the guitar. The guitar sounds enchanted for some reason. It sounds like something in like medieval movies or something. I don't know. Make of that what you will. But number 4 for me is C'est La Vie, beautiful song. Alright, so number 3. Now, I talked about this on on my top 10 favorite classical songs video. I'll probably put that in the link in the description below if you haven't seen it or something like that. But yeah, another really good song. This was when I talked about the Scythian Suite by Sergei Prokofiev. I talked about this song, which is the second movement that Carl Palmer that was a rendition of the second movement of the Scythian Suite. And it sounds. That's why I love the suite a lot. But number 3 is The Enemy God Dances with the Black Spirits. When I first heard this on the Scythian Suite, which is when I was really young, I always loved it. And when I first heard this album, when we got to Carl Palmer's side, this opened up his side, and I was like, "Hey, this sounds really familiar. I felt like I've heard this before." And then I remembered from the Scythian Suite that this was the second movement. So yeah, number 3 for me is The Enemy God Dances with the Black Spirits. So the top 2, if you can guess, they're side 4, which is, in my opinion, the best side. All 3 members sharing the same side. Now these 2 are definitely in my top 10 favorite ELP songs. I think one of them is probably in my top 5. I can't get enough of number 1, but number 2 for me, I think this used to be number 1 at one point. Number 2 for me is Pirates. I love everything about a 13-minute closer that closes the album perfectly. I have not heard anything like that. That's one reason why I really love the album so much, is that every member has a side. Every member controls the final side, and this closes the album. I love everything about this song. It's really awesome. And again, it feels anthemic also. I don't know why. Yeah, Pirates has always felt anthemic for me. And speaking of anthemic, number one, Fanfare for the Common Man, another Aaron Copland thing that we talked about. But everything about this song, they did an outstanding job with this song. This is probably my top five favorite ELP songs. I'm not sure. I'm probably gonna have to rank all their songs, or at least do a top 10 list one day, because that's gonna be pretty difficult, honestly. But yeah, number one for me, Fanfare for the Common Man. Never heard anything like it. It is awesome, awesome. If you haven't heard it before, definitely hear it. You will love it. You will love the most of the stuff on here. But yeah, here's my list. 14 songs this time. Alright. Okay, so that was Works Volume 1. Next is Works Volume 2. Maybe I'll do that today because that's more like a continuation. Although Works Volume 2 is not like Works Volume 1. Not each member does not have a contribution to each side. I mean, this is for one thing, it's not a double album, it's a single album. I used to not be a big fan of it, but it has grown on me a little bit. But yeah, we're getting into the step down of things, but I still think it's a pretty good album. You know, a lot of good stuff on there. But yeah, that was Works Volume 1. Let me know what your list is in the comments below, you know, if they work. But yeah, I think it's definitely if I make the video not for kids, then I'll get comments, even though they are for kids. But yeah, that was Works Volume 1, the 5th ELP album. Please leave a like, comment if you want, view my videos, and of course subscribe. Thanks for watching this video, guys. This has been Halbuska, signing off. Stay safe.